Legend of K was originally released in 2005. In its 10-year anniversary in 2015, they released the Anniversary Edition that has now made its way over to the Nintendo Switch. But is this feline fantasy worth taking on, or is this game a complete catastrophe? Legend of K is very much a product of its time, a PS2, Xbox, GameCube era 3D action adventure game that has all of the positives and all of the negatives as well of that title, none of which were improved really in the Anniversary Edition. What is different though is of course the graphics have been touched up a bit, it runs at a better frame rate, and after playing it again here on Switch, it runs better than the Anniversary Edition did on PS4, at least at launch, though I'm not sure with patches how that version runs today. In Legend of K, you're playing as a hot-headed young cat named K who ends up stealing a sword from his master to set off on an adventure after his dojo and village are invaded by some invading gorillas and rats. The world of Legend of K is one filled with anthropomorphic animals, each living in their own village. The younger generation is putting off the religion called the Way, and because of this, it's basically causing chaos and certain other animal races to invade and destroy other animal races for the first time in history. Throughout the journey, you'll visit multiple locations, like jungles, volcanoes, etc., some interesting characters, as well as K himself is one of those ones you'll either love or hate, and I definitely have always leaned more towards the hate side. But what I truly hate in Legend of K is the platforming and camera controls, none of which have really been improved since the 2005 original. The camera has some issues as far as getting in the way on a relatively consistent basis, as well as platforming is more frustrating than it needs. You have things like these totems that you can kind of home towards, and it just seems very finicky when it actually wants to work. There's a lot of times with puzzle solving that the little minor annoyance can end up resetting the puzzle and you have to start things all over again from the very beginning. The combat is pretty typical hack and slash. You'll get some new moves, but nothing really too amazing. Some boss encounters along the journey are enjoyable once you kind of figure out what you need to do for each one. Definitely a highlight in the game. And while you don't get to do it all the time, there's moments where you get to ride on a board that are actually kind of fun. The game has a relatively lengthy story, taking about 12 to 16 hours in order to see it through. It runs at a relatively slow pace though, so even though it is pretty lengthy, you may end up getting bored with it throughout the course of the journey. From the technical side of things though, the game ran smooth for the most part, only some minor slowdown here and there. I play a little bit in docked mode, but I actually played the game a fair amount in portable mode, and it worked pretty well. Legend of K Anniversary is available now on the Nintendo Switch for $29.99. It's also available on a plethora of other systems for PC, PlayStation 4, Wii U, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and that's just for the Anniversary Edition. The original game was also on the PlayStation 2 and later ported over to the Nintendo DS. Overall, Legend of K is a decent action-adventure game on the PS2. It doesn't really translate all that well to being a great game now all these years later on the Switch. Also, there really wasn't anything else added to the game, no bonuses or anything, it was pretty much your standard remaster. With all that said, I'm going to be giving Legend of K Anniversary Edition on the Nintendo Switch a 6 out of 10. But anyway guys, going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.